A hero rises. The story of Samson. Our story begins in a time of darkness for the Israelites. For 40 years, they suffered under the brutal oppression of the Philistines. In the town of Zorah, there lived a man named Manoah from the tribe of Dan. Though blessed in many ways, he and his wife faced deep sorrow. She was barren and had no children. One day, an angel of the Lord appeared to her, a radiant figure of divine presence, and declared, "Though you are childless, you will conceive and give birth to a son. But take heed, drink no wine or fermented drink, and eat nothing unclean. For your son is to be a Nazirite, set apart for God from the womb. His hair must never be cut, for he will lead the charge in delivering Israel from the hands of the Philistines." Amazed and overwhelmed, the woman rushed to tell her husband. Manoah, filled with awe and uncertainty, prayed earnestly, "Lord, please send your messenger again to teach us how to raise this child." God answered his prayer, and the angel returned, reaffirming the sacred instructions. Soon after, Manoah's wife bore a son, and they named him Samson. As he grew, the Lord's favor was upon him, and the Spirit of God stirred within him. Samson's strength unleashed. One day, Samson traveled to Timnah and saw a Philistine woman who captured his heart. He returned home and declared to his parents, "I want her as my wife." His parents, shocked, pleaded, "Can't you find an Israelite woman? Must you marry one of our oppressors?" But Samson was unwavering. This was part of God's plan. On his journey to Timnah, a young lion suddenly leaped from the shadows, roaring ferociously. But before fear could take hold, the Spirit of the Lord came upon Samson with unimaginable power. With his bare hands, he tore the lion apart as effortlessly as one might tear a young goat. The beast lay in pieces, a silent testament to Samson's divine strength. Yet he told no one of this feat. Later, passing by the carcass, he noticed a swarm of bees had made a hive inside. Reaching in, he scooped out golden honey and ate as he walked, even sharing it with his parents, though he never revealed its source, a deadly riddle and rising tensions. At his wedding feast in Timnah, Samson proposed a challenge to the 30 Philistine men in attendance. "I have a riddle for you," he declared with a sly grin. "Solve it within 7 days, and I will give you 30 linen garments and 30 sets of clothes. Fail, and you will owe me the same." The Philistines, intrigued, agreed. Samson spoke. "Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet." For 3 days they were baffled. On the 4th day, in desperation, they pressured Samson's wife. "Coax the answer from him, or we'll burn you and your family." Tears streaming, she pleaded with Samson, "You don't love me. How can you keep secrets from me?" Worn down by her persistence, he finally revealed the answer. That evening, before the deadline, the Philistines smugly recited, "What is sweeter than honey? What is stronger than a lion?" Fury burned within Samson. "If you had not plowed with my heifer, you wouldn't have solved my riddle," he retorted. The Spirit of the Lord came upon him once more, and in his wrath he struck down 30 Philistines in Ashkelon, taking their garments as payment. Enraged, he left his wife, and she was given to another man. Vengeance with fire. Samson returned later, seeking his wife, only to learn she had been given away. Fueled by fury, he vowed revenge. Capturing 300 foxes, he tied their tails together, fastening torches between them. Lighting the torches, he released them into the Philistine fields, setting ablaze their grain, vineyards, and olive groves. Their livelihoods went up in flames, their cries filling the air. The Philistines, seeking retribution, burned his wife and her family. Enraged beyond measure, Samson struck them down mercilessly before retreating to a cave. The Philistines, determined to capture him, gathered an army. The men of Judah, fearing their oppressors, confronted Samson. "Why do you bring trouble upon us?" "I only repaid them for what they did to me," Samson answered. Agreeing to surrender him without killing him, they bound him with new ropes and handed him over. But as the Philistines advanced, the Spirit of the Lord surged through him once more. The ropes snapped like burned flax. Spotting a fresh donkey's jawbone, he seized it and struck down 1,000 men. The battlefield lay silent, littered with the fallen. Exhausted, Samson cried out, "Lord, you gave me this great victory. Must I now die of thirst?" God answered, splitting a rock to provide water, reviving his warrior. Samson and Delilah. In time, Samson fell for a woman named Delilah in the valley of Sorek. The Philistine rulers saw an opportunity. "Lure him into revealing his strength, and we'll each give you 1,100 silver coins." She pressed him relentlessly. At first he toyed with her. "Tie me with 7 fresh bowstrings. Bind me with new ropes. Weave my hair into a loom." Each time he awoke to an ambush, only to break free effortlessly. But Delilah was persistent, wearing him down with her ceaseless pleas. Finally he confessed, "My strength lies in my hair. Shave it, and I will be as weak as any man." That night, as he slept on her lap, she had his head shaved. "Samson, the Philistines are upon you," she cried. He awoke, ready to fight, but his strength had vanished. The Lord had left him. Seized, blinded, and shackled, Samson was dragged to Gaza, where he was forced to grind grain in prison. Samson's final act. The Philistines rejoiced, bringing Samson to their temple for entertainment. Thousands gathered to mock him. Samson, blind but not broken, whispered a final prayer. "Sovereign Lord, remember me. Strengthen me once more." Feeling for the pillars that supported the temple, he braced himself. With a mighty push, the pillars collapsed, bringing the temple down upon the rulers and people. In his death, he killed more enemies than in his lifetime. His family retrieved his body and laid him to rest in the tomb of his father. Samson had judged Israel for 20 years. A legacy of strength and faith. Samson's life reminds us that God can use even flawed individuals for his purpose. His strength was unparalleled, but his weaknesses were real. Yet, through his trials, victories, and ultimate sacrifice, he fulfilled God's plan. Do you want to bring Bible stories to life through stunning animated films? Join our mission to create full-length Bible movies, stories that mainstream media like Disney would never tell. Our content is free on YouTube, but ad revenue alone isn't enough. By supporting us on Patreon, you can help spread these powerful stories to the next generation. As a thank you, enjoy exclusive perks for your family. Subscribe, like, share, and be part of this incredible journey.